Does money matter in day game? Does money matter to women for dating, for day game? I mean, did you know that money matters in 2025, but not in the way that you think, you know? So I know it sounds crazy because we're so used to hearing that being broke, right, in day game with no money, and all you need is just more game, right? You just need more mystery method and more RSD method, right? But in reality, that's not the truth. In reality, you do need some kind of money, but not in the way you think, because you cannot be broke as a joke. That's really, really bad. Let me share this. Share my other channel. Well, you think it's really important to have money, or you think not to have any sort of money whatsoever. But as I was saying, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets that's going to revolutionize the way you think about money. Hey, what's up? Oh, it's hot in here. I don't have any fans, so that's all I have is a fan. So the way you understand how the tariff and inflation can destroy your motivation for day game completely because it affects your money. So all right, I'm Johnny Elite, and I'm the world's best day game coach. In case you guys don't know, on the second channel, I have 666 laid and pulled testimonials for day game. So one person here, what's up? Ask any questions anytime you like. So what is the Maslow chart of human needs, right? Sorry, it's really hot in here. So the Maslow chart of human needs is, it has like different needs. On the bottom, it's the physiological needs: food, water, shelter, sex, temperature control, toilet. If these are impacted, because most day gamers who has focus issues and is in debt, it's ADHD day gamers usually racks up huge debt. And mind you, I'm not going to diagnose people here, but I'm describing the patterns of ADHD. The higher the ADHD, the more debt. And the reason why is very simple. I have seen with a lot of students. Oh, it's really hot here. Maybe I'll turn on the fan, but is that the more you have debt, the more you feel depressed, the more you frown. When you start to frown, right, then you start to feel worse. And then the very first thing you want to do is to spend some money as retail therapy. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been extremely guilty of doing just that. So retail therapy is very dangerous because whenever a person is super ADHD, I knew one guy who spent all his money on like, when he's going to nightclub, he spent all his money with table service, just pissed away like tens of thousands of dollars. Yo, fucking join me. Right? Brokies. Oh shit, I didn't spell that correctly. Yo, fucking join me, brokies. There it is. All right. So whenever you feel depressed, you spend more money, and then it just keeps racking up more debt. So ADHD and depression, they work hand in hand. If you can take care of the ADHD or supplement it away, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you. That's what I do. Where you supplement away the ADHD, right? What will happen is that you will spend less. Of course, spending has to do with your family history. One of your parents spends like money is going to go out of style. Would you save money? Would you say money helps in maneuvering? In what way are you talking about maneuvering? Are you talking about instant dating and stuff like that in terms of maneuvering? Because sometimes you don't need a lot of money. This is more of a psychological thing, you know? Having a little bit more money gives you more of a psychological edge. Hey, what's up? It's just super hot in here. So the more depth, the more ADHD. So that means if you're at 0 for the paycheck, right? Then that's like 0. Then there's a 4-figure depth and there's a 5-figure depth, which is common among 90% of my Latino students. I'm not generalizing all Latinos, just Latino pickup artists. The 6-figure depth types are common among Indians, who has the highest prevalence of ADHD in the world. For scientific studies, Latinos are second highest. I'm not generalizing everyone, but when you're in depth, you will have meltdowns and mentally crash out. You won't be able to focus for Daygame unless you are my student who has much more grit for resilience and also a growth mindset. So it's other nations like Japan and China with tariffs and economic issues has a lot of people turning MGTOW. And you're like, well, what's MGTOW, John? Men going their own way. So instant dating. Yes. Okay. So no, you don't need a lot of money for instant dating because you can always just get a steep tea or something, right? From Sing Hortons. If you're a Canadian, I don't go there anymore, right? Because I think it's really important people wash their hands. You know, it's just not something that's common, but you can always grab a tea or somewhere from somewhere for instant dating. That's only a few dollars. So for the first venue, you can save a lot of money that way. It only costs you like less than $5 for tea. So that answers your question, but it's not the money that's important for dating. It's more like the psychology, the effect. So lots of people have been turning MGTOW since they don't think that they can raise a family. They say, oh, why bother? Why not give up? You know, they're in survival mode. So I'm going to share with you 3 secrets about ADHD day gamers who usually racks up a lot of debt. Remember, I'm not diagnosing, but describing. There's a difference. You can describe traits, and there are traits of ADHD, a lack of focus. The higher the ADHD, the higher the depth. Broke, 0, 4 figures, 5 figures, Latinos, 6 figures, Indians. I have an Asian student who has 6-figure depth, but severe ADHD. But they have the highest prevalence in the world for Indians, and Latinos are second. Latinos, 51% of Latinos are in poverty, according to statistics. So it's not like something I'm making up. So I don't want to generalize everyone, but I'm just saying there's a lot of depth within Latinos. And that's why a lot of the taller Latinos, they're not very good students because most of them don't even have more than $1,000 to their bank account. If they're 5'11" to 6'1", almost none of them. They have to wait and they have to save up. Or else if they have money, they only got 1,500 at most. Everything is always eaten up. Your family determines the thinking like patterns of money in the first 7 years of your life, right? You know, in the first 7 years of your life, your mental filter opens up. You have to absorb everything, including your parents' bad money habits. This is why Jeff Bezos, who's Latino, by the way, he never grew up in a Latino family. For Jeff Bezos, he grew up in a white family. He's adopted. So he never had the Latino mindset. And he made a lot of money. So sometimes cultural upbringings with ADHD and you're feeling depressed and you want to spend more retail therapy just to feel better can happen. It's always in 5-figure depth. You'll have more meltdowns and you'll crash out. It's always like the taller guys, they just barely have money. If you have money, like you have money issues, it's already like for a pickup artist, that's a sign of ADHD, severe ADHD. But I do have students that are Latinos, but they have a lot of grit. The shorter guys, they have like Navy SEAL grit. They have resilience and they have growth mindset. Whenever you talk to a person that has opinions as facts, They're going to shoot down all your ideas. You tell them, you show them all the proof. They're still going to shoot down your ideas. It's just how they think. So that's the thing, because people are quitting because of money issues. I know what you're thinking, right? Day gamers, they're always broke, right? Who cares, John? It's all game. It's not about money, John. Money doesn't matter, but it does. I'm going to show you a great way you can manage your money so you don't turn MGTOW and crash out and have a meltdown. Money won't affect you for Night Game or Tinder being broke. And I'll explain why. I know it sounds very contradictory. Well, why does money affect people for Day Game, but does not affect them for Night Game or Tinder? That's a great question if you're going to ask me. But the thing is that in reality, Tinder, they're down to fuck. They're on the app swiping because they want to have sex. So therefore, because they're down to fuck, money does not matter. They're only there to get laid that day. Same with Night Game. They're down to fuck and trying to do a same night lay. So therefore, that's different. Day Game, they're not down to fuck. Women are not down to fuck. If you have tonality issues and you start having the poverty sigh as you're breathing out when you're talking, and then you sound depressed, you're going to crash out. It's going to affect your Day Game. You cannot be motivated. And even if you're doing a training program like my one, you're going to quit very quickly and lose your mind and blame me. And then try to start like a smear campaign because you are broke. You're a brokey piece of shit with no money whatsoever. You're a broke piece of shit. So, it does affect your tonality. So the first secret, let's get to it. We're going to break down 3 secrets. And here's a big one, okay? This one's pretty interesting. I want to make sure that people are actually going to be on here. Yo, brokies, right? Join me. I'm calling them brokies. So before we get in the first secret, any questions so far about money? Because there's different levels of depth. Remember, more people that watch these, right? The more I'm gonna make more YouTube lives. If they don't watch it and they don't care, I'm just gonna say, you know what? If these people don't care, then I'm just gonna not make any more and just punish them that way. Or maybe I'll just come back every 2 days rather than 1 day. So, see here. 1 person here. Lovely. 3 views only. Come on now. When I saw the tariff happening, right? So many people crashed out. I was looking at the votes and they all quit. Only 1 person was actively interested in Day Game. It was very fucking pathetic. Like, what the fuck? I'm going back to my first website, and here's what I've noticed. I put everything to a vote. I know I'm a little bit off topic, but I'm going to talk about anyways. I had a vote to see where people were at. And is the economy affecting your motivation for Day Game? Broke, debt, tariffs. And here's the vote on the first one, okay? If you guys want to vote for it, that's fine, on my first YouTube channel. But what it says is that 40% voted yes, turn MGTOW, men going their own way. Okay? Unfortunately, focus on work. That's what the vote was. Number 2 was no, still interested in Day Game. Still have some fight left. But how many people voted for that out of 10 votes? Just 10%, which probably means 1 vote. Isn't that crazy? Number 3, super depressed, dude, by tariffs and the economy, possibly recession. 0% of people voted for that. They were not scared that it's going to turn into recession. Maybe they don't think it's going to be like that. Number 4, no, just turned off by you and your false rumors about probably about me, right? These are the far left trashing out Kamala Harris voters that voted for that. So 50% voted for that, a big chunk. But that's okay, because even if they falsely accuse me, the person accusing me lied about everything. They don't feel guilt and remorse. So it's okay. So I wrote an article on my website. If you guys want to read it, it'll clear my name right here. Here's the receipts. So don't make false accusations about me because you're a broke piece of shit. The guy extorted me for a little bit of money. All right. So let's go over the first secret, okay? We're finally here. The first secret is that one student, 3MP, right? He had more money in his bank account. He spent quite a bit. His mother gave him the money because they're like a rich Chinese. So they have like tons of money. Money's not an issue. However, he had to pay for the school tuition for university. And he fucking crashed out and disappeared. He came back today finally. I thought he's going to be gone for a few days. He got banned because he doesn't do any homework. He just turned from a normal person into a zombie over in one day. So it's almost like the money, right, has been adjusted. It's like, okay, we got this much money, a lot to work with. Oh, school tuition, down to next nothing, like a couple of thousand. And then all of a sudden, because he's not used to that, he's spending like so much money. It's like, dude, this guy spent so much in a short amount of time that I had to explain to him that is crazy, that even like my Latino students or the guys who hates on me, they're so broke, right? Like 85% of their money is paying the bills and paying for virtual assistants just to find leads. In reality, like that's how people's lives are, or they're living paycheck to paycheck. And even if they had money, they spend like crazy when they're depressed. They only get depressed when they're more ADHD. And they're like, oh, I have ADHD, you can't diagnose people. It's like, dude, you sound like a fucking depressed snowflake. Of course you have ADHD. What the fuck? I mean, no, of course, like it sounds depressed. I'm not diagnosing, but that's the most depressive thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, when you talk to women, excuse me, real quick. Poverty sigh. I have a question. Poverty sigh. It almost sounds like Jordan Peterson talking. Because they're so depressed. When they're talking, they sound almost like this, but really depressed. And that's a problem. But anyways, this Chinese student, his mother gave him money, but not anymore. And then he had to pay school tuition. The big idea here, right? Why is this important? Because at first he had a ton of money, and then all of a sudden he has like how much? Like a fraction of the money. Small percentage of the money. Right? And then what happens to his mind? It cannot handle it because he's in survival mode. His mother left him in survival mode. And they're rich, by the way. They have a lot of money, like those rich Chinese. So the big idea is that money can change the levels so quickly that it's almost like a dial in their own mind and their perceptions of the Maslow chart of human needs. So when the money goes down, he's spoiled, right? But when the money goes down, the person's mindset crashes. So when you look at all the poor people that could barely afford elite bundle resurrections and they crash out, they're fucking losers. That's the truth. When they crash out, they lose their minds. And they're affected. They cannot actually control their emotions at all. So when that's the case, I'm gonna put hey brokies on this one too for let me just change the post. I really don't like broke people. You know why? I don't like broke people. In my experience, we're teaching pickup artists that are broke as a joke. They're not good people. When it just signal of extreme levels of ADHD, and they get depressed over it because they can't finish anything. They have no self-esteem. That signals delusional. So I'm thinking like right now, I lower my course down by $100 for Elite Bundle Resurrections. But I think it's time to raise the price afterwards so we can price out these bad Latino students or at least broke people. If we can price them out, then we'll find better students. But of course, they're worried about the fucking tariff. It wasn't until the tariff when they lose their minds. It wasn't because of the inflation. Inflation has been around since 2024 and people have been crashing out. But 2025, that's a different story. see here. Hey, broke pieces of shit, join me. Yeah, they don't like the topic. You see that? It really does bother. What do you mean 20 takeaways? You mean 20 videos? Or do you mean just like 2 videos and 20 takeaways? Okay, now we're talking to this. If you're barely doing like 2 videos, fuck you. That is like the bare fucking minimum that you say you're doing. You should be like doing like fucking 15 or 20 videos, right? You fucking, are you retarded or something? You're gonna try spread this out with 7 days? Stop being fucking lazy, right? Stop letting the money affect you. This is the exact student we're talking about for the first secret. He's finally texting me back. I don't give a fuck about your schoolwork. It's like saying this is not an important priority. Like, oh no, John's mean. No, sometimes they need a little bit tough love because you got to get from point A to point B. It's like, oh no, I'm scared because you're far left. The reason why they're scared is because they're so fucking far left. These are the type of people that crash out. They get triggered, and the more they get triggered, the more they have a meltdown. And when they have a meltdown, and then they'll blame me, then they'll run away. They become avoidant personality, and they'll do the minimum because the 4 traits of low self-esteem: delusions, half-assing it, the wrong decision, and also quitting. You're going to have to sign a contract for a commitment. Okay, fine. We have a deal. If you cannot get 20 videos done by tonight, you'll be banned for 2 weeks instead of 1. Because the first one was 1 week because it was your first ban. But you better not treat it like a vacation because sometimes people love to be banned. But you're going to lose all your habits. This is stupid. Sometimes I have a bet with other students. The more they don't do it, the more they pay me every single week if they don't do it. Right? But then again, I got such broke, poor people before that they don't even pay. They just say, I'll pay it next week. Fucking zombies. Anyways, like I really hate broke people. I really think, I mean, this guy's money, but I hate broke people. I think broke people are horrible people. I really do. If when you're making a top like a course for them, level 1 before. That's why I made Elite Bundle Resurrections. Level 1 was spend like $5 like Elite Daygame first steps, or up to $400. They will not spend 401. That I fucking hate broke people. They will not spend 401. They'll spend 400. That's weird. That's their mind. They're always delusional. They're always broke. You can't train them. They're not coachable. You can just sell them a booklet. That's it. Level 2. Like, when you hear my voice, how angry it makes me feel, right? When you deal with people like this, it's very fucking annoying. Like, hear my voice. There's anger behind it because I deal with real poor people all the time complaining. And when there's level 2, when they can stretch themselves, like, oh shit, Elite Bundle Resurrections cost $1,000. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is $1,000 USD. Elite Bundle Resurrections. Not much. You get 1 year of my time, 10 minutes a day. Okay? And then they complain. I mean, you're complaining because the tariffs are making you poor. The inflation was for like 2024 inflation. The highest interest rates was bad. And that's the thing. So why blame me? Because you're poor. I don't have a money problem. You do. Because you have ADHD. I'm focused. I edited a video today. I wrote this script. I had to take a shower. I skipped lunch and skip breakfast just so I can be here to tell you this message. To tell you this message. I have not ate a single thing today. I drank some Soylent. so I can get this through to you. And good thing this person is here on. Okay, I'm getting back home at 7. We'll see. Yes, we'll see. So that guy has to do a lot of homework. I'm telling you, I have other broke Latinos who are banned for 2 weeks, and I don't like to ban people. They haven't even started. You try to convince them that it's a good idea to do their homework assignments. It's going to help them for time management for another Latino. Because he's broke, he can only afford like elite access. And I say, no, you're not allowed to join. He throws money into my fucking bank account. I said, motherfucker. Okay, you're going to sign the contract. Only Latino students sign. Okay, give me the contract. He doesn't sign it because he's too ADHD to look at it. I said, oh, fuck. And I want to remove him, but I don't want to be a guy who kicks people out. I only kicked out one Indian. One guy who's Indian. He got laid like the year before and the year before that. This guy doesn't do his homework. Broke people don't do shit for homework. Broke people are insufferable. Broke people brought this on themselves. I have such a low opinion of broke people. Get your fucking ADHD meds. Guys, go to the doctor, get your assessment, your depression. I don't have depression. They never have depression because they can't experience emotions. They get triggered. But as I'm trying to say, when they spend more money, right? So much money, and none of my students spend that much. This guy spends so much money, right? The guy who just texted me, wasting so much fucking money with the ADHD that even Indians who put down a down payment for $1 million house never spend that much because you have to pay like a certain amount. I won't say what the amount is. He mentally stopped operating. I know he's going back to school. Great. So if that happens to him that easily, it will happen to all the poor day gamers who barely can afford elite bundle resurrections. Remember, it's only $1,000. And right now, it's like a little bit less. Good afternoon, Mr. M. Mr. M is not like broke. I mean, he's like broke, but he's not like in debt, right? At least I don't think so. You're like the only Latino that is just on zero. And don't forget, inner circle, you still owe me $100 extra, right? One more 100. So, fuck, it's hot here. As I was writing this, he replied, the Asian guy, and he also just texted me. I'm not calling him an animal, but I'm just saying he's animalistic for the traits, like a zombie, and he becomes avoidant. And he's like, oh, I did my homework. He did like 2 videos. Who gives a fuck? I say, do 20 videos, not 2. Right? That's like 10 takeaways each. It's important because the Maslow chart of human needs is food, water, shelter, sex, toilet, temperature control. In case you guys don't believe me, right? For the Maslow chart, we can look it up. There is such a chart. Maslow hierarchy of needs chart. So here's a screenshot. Hopefully you can see it. So this is called the Maslow chart. On the bottom is usually the lowest needs, and it goes up and up and up. So on the very top, right, the highest needs that a human has is self-actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential, right? That's when a person makes so much fucking money that they're exploring how to improve their lives. Make sense? I wouldn't have thought everyone has heard of Maslow's chart. I would have. Nobody has heard of it. Think about these people. They're not educated. They don't learn shit like this. Next one is self-esteem chart. And these guys don't have self-esteem, especially when they want to quit early because they don't show up for their homework assignments. Self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others. I need to be a unique individual. Okay? That's green. What's over here? What is yellow? Love and belonging. Family, friendship, intimacy, a sense of connection. Now let's go down lower because none of the pickup artists with their excessive ADHD and crashing out. There was 2 types of students before. It's like, I'm not diagnosing people. I'm just speculating based on patterns and traits. But for the sake of the argument, there was type A and type B. Type A is the sociopath. Of course, I could say, oh, the guys who don't have empathy or remorse and guilt. There's a long list of traits. I don't want to go through it. They have ADHD and they have like delusional disorders. You cannot change their minds. And they always like, dark triad, ADHD, delusional disorders, and autism. So that's type A. Type A is really bad with money. Then we have the type B, the engineers. Before, the psychopath, OCD, logical, not delusional, but very OCD. They're not ADHD. They're more like a little bit ADD. Those types used to make a lot of money. And they're engineers. And because they're not in the lowest needs, they're in the second highest, which is safety and security, health, employment, property, family, and social ability. Because they're engineers. They got money. They make like $8,000, averagely $7,000 or $8,000 a month. There's not a lot of money, but for them, they can still manage. They can afford 3MP. Okay, but those guys all quit. So why did the type B psychopaths? I talked about this in the last life. Where the fuck are they? The rich fucking Chinese engineers. Where the fuck are they? They all quit because AI has taken over their jobs. AI can actually program now, and not everyone's going to be accepted as an engineer. Does that make sense? The programmers, their jobs are threatened by AI. So now they have to work harder. And they don't have time to do day game. They already quit. They turn MGTOW. So next one is, safety, health, employment, property, family, and sociability. And what's the lowest? Physiological needs: breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep, sex, and all that other stuff, right? Toilet, temperature control. It doesn't matter, but there's a lot of different charts. But if you're in the lowest needs, right? And I had to apologize to people for calling them poor sewer rats before. And what I done is that I made them a course called Elite Focus for Daygamers. And I don't mean to call anyone a sewer rat, but back then I called them sewer rats and they were so offended when they were so poor. But back then, I made them a course called Elite Focus for Daygamers. And somebody bought it for $50 because the more you pay, the more you pay attention. He made like $4,000 from it. A second guy with super ADHD from Europe doesn't do anything. He's so in his head and just acting like an unteachable case. But the guy looks like a super good looking. He looks like a white Chad with big muscles and a square jawline. But fucking crazy. If I ask him right now, hey, are you ready to start Elite Bundle Resurrections? Another excuse. They love making excuses to level 1 people. They're poor and it's affecting their day game. And the people that shows up and wants to take Elite Bundle Resurrections, they barely could afford it. They're literally like just right at the edge of their paycheck, whatever money they have. They're so fucking broke. And that's a bad mindset. They're in a survival mode. It's hard to day game when you're in survival mode. It doesn't affect Tinder. It doesn't affect night game because people are down to fuck. But that thing is that that's a need. The one that's like second highest, safety needs. The security of employment. They're thriving. But which is not common anymore among the PUAs or day gamers who are broke. Women are not down to fuck like night game or Tinder for day game. The brokenness affects their vocal tonality. In their voice, they sound very depressed. They're like, hey, how's it going, John? But they always breathe out. That's a poverty sigh. If women hears that in a conversation, at the end of the sentence, because they're very depressed, and they think like, oh, why are women not into them? Why is it flaking? Because they can hear the poverty sigh, guys. Like, you see how worked up I am over this topic about broke people? It makes me angry. So, could you count social circle lays? I don't know. It depends on the social circle. Did you have a new social circle lay or something, Mr. M? Okay, that's the first secret. Okay. Holy shit, it's fucking hot in here. Wow. All right. The second secret is this. Okay. It always starts in Asia. You're like, oh, fuck Asia. I don't give a fuck about Asia, right? No, it always starts in Asia. All the money problems and all the dating problems always starts in like Asia. So which was the country that started with? Uh, you know, then it moves outwards into Europe and into North America, but it always starts in Asia. So main thing here to understand is that where has MGTOW really started? Which country? Because United States, many years ago, most people, right, had girlfriends or lays and stuff. Now it's like I heard like 50% of guys now are like virgins. Like I'm not sure if that's true. I saw that somewhere. I didn't believe it for a second, right? Let me fact check this, okay? Because when the economy gets better with the inflation and now the Trump tariff, okay? So 2025, what percentage of men are virgins? Let's see. No, I need a 2025 stats. Okay, let's look at Newsweek. Do not give me a number. Let me ask ChatGPT or something. I don't know. Like that's crazy. Maybe Bing AI or something, right? We'll just look up Bing. So what 2025, what percentage of men are virgins? Because I'll get to the point, okay? Because that's also related to I didn't believe the stats, may be wrong. If I heard 50% or something, that's not true. I don't think that's true. I want to fact check this. Okay, so I'm gonna check if I'm human. This fucking AI is taking a long time. Verify you're human. Okay, let's see if I'm human. I am human. Because a lot of people in Japan are virgins. Parts of Asia and Africa can exceed 50% virgin. What the fuck? By age 30, right? Conservative religious one, 30 to 40% men maybe still virgins. What the fuck? Rural versus urban. Men in rural areas are 10 to 15% more likely to be virgins. What the fuck? 20 to 34, it's like 10%, but around the world, what the so it is not entirely inaccurate. So when we're talking about Asia, what? Oh my god. They might need a day game coach in fucking, no, Africa. I'm not gonna fucking help anyone from Africa, but in Asia, right? They probably fucking need Johnny Elite right now. Oh my god. But poorer people means more opportunities. Maybe I should try and get some students from China. Not just the 3MP guy, he's actually from China, but living in the United States. The main thing here to understand is that in Japan, they have MGTOW, and you know what they call these people? That don't get out of the house and they play video games all day and they watch anime and they fap to like, anime porn. These people are called hikamori. So long time ago, the very first people that started to be in this movement, the MGTOW movement, was the hikimoris. That's the name of it. And they don't work, they don't do anything. They literally are just existing like a vegetable and just playing video games like an ADHD person. It's very sad when you look at it. Very, very sad. And if it's like 40%, 30 to 40% in Africa to Asia, that's fucking horrible. And it's getting worse because in China now, because of Trump tariff, as soon as Trump put the tariffs in China, right? Sorry, getting itchy again. Then the economy crashed because most Chinese people, they almost have this mentality of drop shipping. They have to make the products and then they have to ship it. In the United States, buy a bunch of junk. But when Donald Trump stopped the shipments because of 150% tariff, or whatever the fuck, 50%, no, all these factories closed down and they had to sell inside their own China, which they don't have like surfboards and all these other shit. And these women are even worse than modern women for the Chinese because they have no emotions. They only care about money. Yo, what's up? Wait a minute. I know who you are. This is Ivan. Let me get rid of him. All right, let's continue. So, as I was saying, don't fucking write shit about me on Reddit, asshole. I'm gonna fucking sue you afterwards. I want to see how much damage you've caused. All right, let's continue. So basically, in China, the Trump tariff has crushed the economy. They can't sell stuff, and people are so poor right now. They're actually going on like TikTok or going on Facebook or they're going somewhere on these apps, right? And they get like few cents for people. They can gift them as donations. So they just dance all day in front of the camera and stuff. It almost looks like they're homeless. So the economy is either the. This sounds crazy, right? This is what Chinese people are doing. Fucking Chinese. And you're like, well, John, you're Chinese. That's right. So I am Chinese. So, but let's talk about the fucking Chinese, shall we? Right? The people that speak Guoyu, that means Chinese, right? Ubujida. So for those people, they either work in the food stall now or they do like food delivery in China. And they don't even have enough money to pay for the gas and barely to live. Never mind dating or never mind getting a bride. China is so fucking crazy right now. It's worse than Japan. I can see why there's like 50% or 40% virgins or something over there, right? China's fucking crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And their bride price, you wouldn't believe this, okay? I'm not making this shit up. Chinese women, right? The psychopaths that have no emotions whatsoever. It's all about the fucking Chinese. They just love their money. They love money. Chinese love money. I don't care about money. I just care about getting students laid. Money will come. But the fucking Chinese love money. They don't have emotional intelligence. So the Chinese women are like, you have to pay $100,000 and they call it a dowry. I can't make this shit up to get married with a Chinese woman. And a lot of these women are like girl bosses. What's a girl boss? These Chinese women have made so much money in their career. They're making millions of dollars running their own companies that the guy cannot even afford to keep up. So the women are like in China, or it's like, oh, I want a perfect guy. And their parents, for the Chinese, I know we're a little bit off topic, but let's talk about this because it's fucked up. Their parents, their Chinese parents are like, hey, if they say to their daughter, if look at you, you're like 32 now. If you're so picky, no guy in China is going to want you. And they're like, no, I want a perfect guy. It's like a fairy tale guy. She just can't find the man she wants. And then they'll go on the fucking, social media, and the women will say, well, they'll be delusional, just like modern women. They'll be like, oh, well, guys are intimidated by me, by my beauty. It's like, shut the fuck up. They're not intimidated. They just don't want a woman that's making more money, that is looking down on guys who's acting masculine, and leftover women. And okay, so let's look at the statistics, right? Let's look at Bing again, right? Percentage of leftover women. That's what they call it. I'm not making this shit up. I'm just speaking about things that are happening around the world because you can see how money can affect things. In China, right? Over 30. Let's see what Bing has to say. Okay, so in China, the term leftover women refers to women who remain unmarried past a socially expected age, often 27 or 30, especially in urban areas. The label carries a stigma. It's increasingly being challenged by empowered women. Yeah, empowered women who reshaping society. Oh, this woke kind of answer. Okay, so in 1982, fewer than 5% of urban Chinese women reached their late 20s without getting married. Today, it's nearly 30% of urban women in their late 20s are single. What the fuck? So by 2005, only 2% of women were single, but now it's different. So, okay, I mean, give me 2025 stats, right? Let's see what Bing has to say. As there are now China leftover women, 200 million single adults live in China. That's 14.6% of the total population. And let's see, 41% of singles said they're actively choosing to be single. 38% cited desire to, okay. I mean, okay. I mean, 2025 left over women. Okay. Figures. 30% of urban women aged 30 to 34 are unmarried. 200 million single adults, substantial portions are women over 30, especially in cities. These women are highly educated, like I said. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Financially independent, career focused, challenging traditional expectations around marriage. Now, like the government is saying that if she tries to divorce the guy, she does not get to keep the house or half of it. She doesn't get all that shit. What they're saying now is that it'll belong to whoever bought it. And now Chinese women are like, oh no, they're scrambling because they think that's how they can get money and, whatever. And a lot of these guys are unhappy. They'll divorce their wives. They'll find somebody who's nice to them, who's much younger, like 20-year-old women, 23, 24. She's like really good mother, raises their kids. And then all of a sudden, he has a good family. And then the other woman's like, oh, please take me back. I see stuff like this on my Brave browser. I have a browser that doesn't have ads called Brave. And I see a lot of these kind of shit pop up. And it's really horrific because the same kind of thing is going to happen in North America. Okay? Because Trump has crushed their country and they're drop shipping and everything. So in Western countries with modern women, that's the thing. I don't get angry at modern women and saying, oh, it's red pill shit. Let's get angry at women's female nature. I don't believe in that shit because my students do not actually experience female nature and those negative effects. My students, they're actually, because they have 20 out of 35, looks out of 10, money out of 5, the way they dress, status out of 10, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control in game, it bypasses their minds. So they don't actually have to deal with modern women. Modern women submits. But most pickup artists with 2.5 point of game, looks, money, status, plus game, they'll deal with this modern women phenomenon. So men are starting to opt out of dating. So for the people that voted on the other YouTube channel, how only one person's approaching or once he still has a fight left in him, the other people, like 40% of the votes, said that they have already quit and went to MGTOW, especially this month. It is 100% related to the Donald Trump's tariff because they're worried. The timing is perfect. It's almost like the Titanic. It was the iceberg that sank their dating lives. So does money matter in dating? Well, it doesn't matter if you're going instant dates if tea costs very little, right? It's not expensive. But however, if you're broke and you're in debt, like a Latino daygamer, not the whole population, only 51% are right? Only 51% are in poverty, according to stats. But if you have this kind of brokenness, it will definitely affect your motivation. So yes, money does matter for day game, does not matter for Tinder, does not matter for night game, because they're down the fuck. So this means women are making more money, having higher university degrees, just like China, right? But United States, the same thing's happening, And some guys, they felt discarded. They cannot get married. They can't procreate because they don't have the money to raise a family. Men who struggle with money usually turn MGTOW. That's what's happening. A lot of people on the other YouTube channel, despite the false Reddit review by a fucking broke hater who basically wrote everything as a hit piece, as you can see, right? As I posted here, this debunks every single thing. They actually rewrote everything to be a hit piece. That sounds like really a lack of remorse. What kind of people lacks remorse with a win at all cost mentality? But that's the thing. They crashed out because of Donald Trump. Let's talk about the third secret, okay? Enough of this fucking Chinese crap. Give a thumbs up if you learn a lot about different cultures around the world, even using AI to fact check. I think from the future, should fact check everything I say. You'll see everything I say actually is actually very close to what's actually in the AI, in the actual knowledge. It's not like I'm making stuff up. So, all right. The third secret, let's get to it. Elite Bundle Resurrections is affordable. It's only $1,000. So, what does $1,000 look like? Okay. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. It's about here, 1,000. It's not that much. You know, you might buy groceries for already like here. $300 or $400 that you waste on fucking food apps, right? Because you're lazy, you're a fat ass. Right here, $400, right? And then 600 here. It's like, it's not a lot of money. I didn't ask for a lot of money because I want more students getting laid. It's not like I'm filtering them or anything like that, or just for the good students. No, I just, because I have a good heart and I don't care that much about the money, I could have raised the price to be like $2,000 or $3,000, guys, if it's getting people laid, honestly. And also, it's a bad economy. I show some mercy. That's all. I empathize with you guys, and I show you guys a little bit of mercy. But instead, what do? They hate on me and spit in my face? Seriously. And I'm dealing with level 1 people that can only spend $5 to $400 from fucking brokies. Broke as a joke. That's really annoying. So, exactly. No, this is better as a fan. All right. So, third secret is that it is extremely affordable, especially when you got a year of my coaching, 10 minutes a day. Sometimes it can be 15. I don't know. I don't care. But you have to show up. You can't just run away like that 3MP guy. But when a Trump tariff hits, people act like they are super poor and turn MGTOW. Over one fucking month in August, they all turn MGTOW overnight. Only one person wants to approach. Literally, what the fuck? In the past, I had to release different courses like how to make your first approach, Elite Day Game First Steps, and also Elite Focus for Daygamers, just to make sure that MGTOW does not crash out. Do you know what percentage of people actually went through the entire course for Elite Focus for Daygamers when I let people put in their email and actually watch it? They don't fucking implement shit. Poor people don't implement shit. That's a big secret. Poor people never ever does anything you say. You tell them, here are the 5 stages to save money. Number 1, have emergency money bucket. Whatever you earn, you split 1/5 of it, right? 1/5 of it into emergency buckets. Number 2, you tell them, really, you spend another one for investments, not like put all your money in Bitfuck like another Latino that did not like join the training, who's half Latino. You get it? Some of it into investments, whatever can bring you more money back, right? Whatever can make you more money, you should invest in it, not just get caught up with life. So whatever can save you time and money, Elite Bundle Resurrections can do that. It is hard during inflation to focus, right? When money is on your mind. Number 3, it is the self-education bucket. That's like Elite Bundle Resurrections. Self-education. Get it? It's really important that you educate yourself because you're either going to pay money or you're going to save money, and then it's going to go towards the inflation or taxes. It makes sense? The only way you can change these 3 things is to invest in your self-education. I do it all the time. Number 4, okay, you got to pay the bills. Big chunk of it. You got to pay Uncle Sam, right? Got to pay the bills. It's not like everything goes towards bills. Most people, Latinos, POAs, are using credit card debt. They can get themselves a 5-figure debt. They don't give a fuck. They don't feel any guilt or remorse. Like, they don't feel guilt and remorse. They'll fucking waste all their fucking money. Indians will spend like fucking 6 figures. Latinos 5 figures. ADHD, higher ADHD, the more money you spend. Number 6 is called the play money. This money, only 20% you can spend if you earn it. The play money is for food. It is for like buying new watches and stuff. It's for buying new clothing. It's for your fucking subscription to Netflix. It's all these other things, right? You get 5 buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully I can see that. 5 buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you split your money like this, you can never be broke because you can invest your way out of it because you're self-education. And you know what? I didn't get angry. I was learning from this woman who came up with this idea called 5-1 strategy. Why not just focus on one course and sell that one course through the whole year and learn how to sell it better? The advice was not very helpful during inflation, especially when haters start to attack, with their Reddit bullshit. But the point is this. I listened to her. I bought her stuff. She's making over $500,000 a month gross income after taxes, like much lower. Did I complain? Did I say like, oh no, like it didn't make me like fucking like more than 10K a month, which I usually make? And it's like, I'm not talking about like Latinos. Oh, Latinos are like, I made $20,000. Like, how much is your expenses for virtual assistants? It's 18,000. It's like, well, you made 2,000. No, I mean like we're talking about. I make like averagely before more than $10,000, and that's like not just gross income. That's like net income. Net income, even after, yeah. It's not like I have a lot of expenses. So I don't mind saying that because I don't care. But what I'm trying to say is that 5 buckets. If you don't break your money into 5 buckets, 5 bank accounts, right? Or Gen Z, 5 envelopes, you're fucked. People cannot control money because the first 7 years of their life, their parents have bad money habits. It's passed on to you. You cannot close your mind. You have to listen to everything your parents say for the first 7 years. So if they're bad parents and they spend a lot of money, you automatically have a subconscious programming to spend money. I learned that from Dan Pena. That picture of the other Latino that people accuse me of being like, oh no, John's like another fucking Dan Pena, right? He's a tough motherfucker. Yeah, I am a tough motherfucker because that's what gets people laid. You want to get laid or you want to be pampered and coddled. If you want to be coddled, go to ABCs of Low Self-Esteem Asian Company. You won't get laid there. They'll just be super nice to you. Only 1 lay testimonials in 2024 for Daygame in a fucking Mexico or Peru, shithole country. Where's all the delayed testimonials from other coaches this year? Where is it? There's none. There is none. So now you realize if they're actually not making like or not getting you any results, they're horrible fucking people. We even have people out there teaching romantic flirts in their boot camps. Oh yeah, you gotta be more romantic or romantic sexual shit. And nobody gets laid from 2022 to 2025. It's just old shit. It's just old shit. All right. So from now on, we're gonna put most of the videos on this channel. We're not gonna put in the old channel. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put all the videos up here. We're just gonna go on this one. We're gonna like private all the videos on a second other channel. This is stupid. We're just gonna post everything here instead. Looks like the other person, right? The hater is reporting my channel nonstop. He's trying to take down my channel. That's a vicious person. A very vicious person. So let's just finish this video and let me deal with it. The third secret is Elite Bundle Resurrections is affordable. But when Trump tariff hits, people acts like they're super poor and they're turned MGTOW. Most of the United States, they have $8,000 of savings averagely. Pickup artists have less than 1,000. They can't even allocate like $15,000 of spending money. Most of them are massive debt. The Latinos don't have more than 1K or 1.5K at most. No matter how much money that they made, it's all gone in expenses and tied up. For Indians, some of them, the ones who can't focus, they spent over $20 or $200,000 for a down payment for their mortgage. This is key because level 1 can spend $5 to $400 only. Level 2 can spend $1,000 at most, and not like 1,001. Level 3 can spend 2,000 to 50,000 for immersion programs. But engineers, they cannot spend. The AI is taking over their jobs. They once had financial security, thriving, not anymore. And now I know what you're thinking. It's all game. Other dating coaches preaches is not about money, like RSD. Well, the tricky thing is that none of the other Daygame coaches students even got laid this year or last year during the inflation and tariffs. So who cares what they think? Some never got a student laid with romantic flirts since 2021. Recycle testimonials for Daygame. You should get the elite bundle resurrections and build your habits in 21 days. You see, the haters are trying to take down my channel. It's ridiculous. Just when I blocked that guy Ivan over there, and he just tries to take down my channel. Most of the courses and training uses this 21-day habit thing. Is my big secret to adding more points to their 20 out of 35. You can't add more points by mass approaching. Since you're reinforcing bad habits, you can't fix your issues behind your eyes if you don't record it. So what gets measured gets accomplished. With my supervision, you can correct these issues. If you are a person with severe ADHD who's lazy, of course, you will have gaps until you finally do the 21-day installing the skills or breaking habit plan. That day, when you show up for 3 weeks, you'll get laid. It's like a Death Star, all the beams aligning into a giant big beam that can destroy a planet or get you laid or raise your 20 out of 35. So what I'm going to do is help you figure out how to show up for 21 days. Okay? Let me see what it's saying. Yeah, I'm just gonna we're just gonna move everything from we're gonna move everything from the first channel to the second one because the hater cannot stop trying to destroy it. What a vicious person. Anyways, I'll save this for my lawyer. Let me just save this for yeah, we're gonna sue this guy. Let me just get this for my lawyer. Capture usable section. All right. Capture selection right here. Let me just save it for my lawyer. Okay. Let's move this to the folder, save for receive the image. Okay. All right. As I'm trying to say, yeah, he's probably using like ChatGPT, trying to report me like 100 times or something. This fucking loser. But yeah, you should join Elite Bundle Resurrection. If someone hates me this much and they want to take down my business so badly, then you should join my business. That's what I think. That's what I think. But anyways, but yeah, we're gonna continue tomorrow back here for the next video. All right. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna sue you so much, Ivan. You wouldn't believe it. Like, Every single month, if I lose money, you're going to owe me quite a bit. I'll get you.